Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is a concealer slash primers video. Usually I would do it separately, but I don't have many concealer tips and tricks to talk about, and I have more primers and stuff. So I figured that we would talk about that, and then, so this is going to be primers and concealers. So I have three concealers, I want to talk to you about, depending on what you're looking for. So two of these are, I'd probably say, high, medium to full coverage. Sorry, I am babysitting my sister's dog. And then this one is just medium coverage. Now this is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer in Light Ivory. I couldn't find the porcelain one to match the foundation I got, but this one's a little too dark for me. It's still decently light, but it's still kind of dark. And it's not as full coverage as I would like. Like, it's supposed to be a full coverage, but I would say it's probably light medium coverage. Next, we have the LA Girl Pro Concealer, and this is in creamy beige. Now, this is not bad. I actually really like the formula of this concealer, but it is a little orange, like, compared to the other one. This one does have like a little brush to apply it with. The other one is a doe foot applicator. And then this is just like a squeezy tube. This is the Maybelline Master Conceal Camouflaging Concealer in Fair. This is the one I've been really reaching for recently. But this is just like a squeezy tube. It's not, it doesn't have any type of applicator. If you can find your shade in the, I want to say it's Maybelline Age Rewind concealer. I don't know if they have a foundation that matches that concealer, but that concealer is bomb. Like, oh my gosh, I'm in love with that. But here are the three swatches. So as you can see, this one's a lot brighter and lighter than the other two. I use the Wet n Wild to like spot conceal usually. I need to find a better shade match for the LA Girl. I also heard that Nabi does an all-in-one concealer that is like exactly the same as this. So definitely check that out. You can find them on walmart.com, I believe, or the app. So next we're going to talk about primers. So depending on what is wrong with your skin, it depends on what you need in a primer. That's Lacey, by the way. I don't know if you guys can see her very well. Yeah, Lacey, right there. Right there. Okay. So if you have dry skin, you're going to want a hydrating primer. I found this one, which kind of works for me, but not nearly as much, because I do have combination skin. Like, I get really dry in my forehead and on my cheeks here, but then here and in my T-zone, I'm super oily and I have huge pores right there. So this is the Milani Prime Perfection Face Primer. This is a hydrating and pore minimizing oil-free primer. It's supposed to create a smooth canvas, hydrate skin, creates a natural finish, reduces redness and appearance of large pores. It is a non-greasy feel. So I actually really have been enjoying this primer. It is a white primer, but it doesn't like leave, like, that's what it looks like. Like, it's not super thick. It feels super soft and lightweight. Like, if I have a day where I'm not wearing any kind of foundation or makeup, like maybe I'm just going to do concealer under the eyes or something like that, or it's a really light day, I will use this, and this keeps my skin looking nice and healthy. It does really help reduce redness and pores, so I really like that. So I would recommend this primer if you are have dry skin, or I guess you could probably use it if you have normal skin as well. And it also works for a combination, but I mainly recommend this if you have dry to normal skin, not for oily, because I found that especially if you're super oily or you have like really huge pores, I feel like this makes your makeup go into your pores a little, even though, I just scratched myself. Even if it does help reduce this, like, the look of them, I don't feel like it actually fills them in all the way. So your foundation can go into like your pores, I guess. Now I have like, so this is for a really like a normal base. This is supposed to moisturize, visibly smooth, and soften your skin. It's a cream-like primer, and it's supposed to hydrate. This is a completely clear moisturizer, or not moisturizer. I use this more as a moisturizer than a primer. But as you can see, the like shininess. It's a really nice primer, and if you're like normal, you don't really have any issues, this is a great primer, especially for beginners. This is what I would definitely recommend. But if you need some pore minimizing, this is like the same brand. They just do different things. This does have a strongish scent. This one doesn't. But these are both the Flower in Your Prime primers. This is the Perfecting Primer, and this is the Pore Minimizing Primer. And as you can see from the green label, this is a green primer, but it doesn't leave like the green behind. It does blend out to be clear. I actually really like this primer. It's a little pricey. It's like, I think $12 or something, or $10. But let's just rub that in. As you can see, there is like a green sheen a little bit, but that really does help to minimize your pores and stuff. I don't know if you could use this all over your face, but this is supposed to help with oil. It smooths and blurs, minimizes pores, and it mattifies. So I really like this one. I want to try their, I want to say hydrating primer. They have a bunch of these type of primers, and I really like this one so far. It's probably my favorite out of the two. So I'm really into pore minimizing and mattifying primers, just because I do get very oily in my T-zone. Next, you have the Super Envy Pore Defense Primer Serum by Hard Candy. Again, this is a very green one, like as you can see. Then if you just, this one is a lot thicker. I feel like this one actually smells super delicious. Like, I just want to eat it, kind of. But I feel if you put too much, it starts to crumble a little bit. But this is oil-free, silicone, and alcohol-free. I believe this is a water-based primer. So something you need to remember with primers is that if your foundation is water-based, do not use an oil primer. Do not use a silicone primer. You need to make sure that the foundation you are using matches the type of base that your primer is. So if you have a water-based foundation, water-based primer. You can use silicone with water foundation, but it's just easier to do it water, silicone, and stuff like that. If you have a water-based foundation, do not use an oil-based primer, even though most primers now aren't oil-based usually. But I really like this one. I just feel like you have to be careful how you use it, but it is a really decent primer. I believe this is $8 at Walmart, something like that, 8 to 10. Next, we have the Master Prime Blur and Smooth Primer. Again, this is a very white primer. I want to say this is probably silicone or water-based. I don't believe it's oil-based, but it is really nice. What I like to do is I like to use this on the outside of my face and use one of the pore minimizers in the middle, because this, it says it blurs and smooths, but I feel like it doesn't fill in my pores at all or anything. It does have a blurring powder, like for pimples and stuff. I like to put this on it. So I really like that. My last one, and this is good for an overall face primer. You could really use this for any, I believe this is a silicone based primer, but this is the Physicians Formula Insta Ready Face Primer. I actually really like the packaging of this too. I used to have the setting powder. So as you can see, it is like clear, and it's very like, so I want to say this is a silicone. Oh, it smells so good. I don't know why, but I love the smell of it. It's really soft and smoothing. And let's see if I can get up close enough. So as you can probably see, I do have decent sized pores. So we're just gonna, I just kind of want to show you, this primer can go all over your face. And I feel like it completely smooths and blurs everything, especially if you have like unwanted texture and stuff. It doesn't clog pores. I haven't noticed any more pimples. But most of these are for combination to normal to combination skin. I only have this one probably. I would say these two. Okay, I have 3 and 3 actually. So these I would say for normal skin, normal and dry skin. Okay, so this one works for any type of skin, like normal, oily, dry, anything. It's an amazing primer. I feel the same way about this one. I feel like this is just a good base primer. It doesn't really do anything except for create a barrier between your skin and your makeup. So this is good for all skin types too. I don't know how much, or not all skin types. I would not recommend this for oily, so I'd say normal and dry skin. And this is just for dry to normal skin, normal and dry skin. And then the other 3 that I have, which are these 3, are for normal to oily skin. This one I feel like you could probably use for any skin type, but you just have to be really careful not to put too much on, because if you put too much on, it starts to like crumble. Let me see if I can get it to crumble on screen. So you went ahead and did 2 pumps. Now I'm just gonna kind of rub this out and kind of blend it into my hand. It does have a very like tacky feel to it, so I actually really like that. So now, for some reason on my face anyways, it really does, like, it crumbles and it just like comes up. For some reason it's not doing it now. But that's all I have for you guys in this video. Oh, I got primer all over my hands now. But I will be doing a beginner's makeup kit next, so stay tuned for that. I hope this primer slash concealers, if you guys want to know more on concealer, remember that most of the time you're either spot concealing or highlighting with a concealer. So just remember that when you're picking out a concealer, you might want to get one that's pretty spot on to your foundation color or your face, and then also get one maybe 2 or 3 shades lighter. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!